Всем привет, с вами Леонид Бугаев, автор книги «Мобильный маркетинг». Сегодня в гостях у нас Матео Пенсио, технический директор компании Frog Design, которая делает удивительные продукты, которые вы видите и в реальной жизни, и в мобильном мире. И мы как раз поговорим про, скорее всего, те вещи, которые можно носить и соединять с мобильными устройствами. Hi Mateo, and the question is wearable devices, for example. Which devices we can see already on the shelves of our supermarkets, for example, which you can recommend, for example, as a connection with a mobile world?
Yeah, so there's plenty of them, obviously, and it's highly dependent on what's the need or the disease you need to cure or sustain.
You're talking about the health.
Yeah, in general, wellness, well-being, and healthcare. Mm-hmm. And if you think about everything that tracks your movement, from the Fitbit to the Jawbone app, mm-hmm. to the Nike Plus bracelet, mm-hmm. I mean, there's all nice thing you could wear, mm-hmm. and I would call them fashion geek tools that should improve your lifestyle by encouraging you in moving more. But then, for example, I suffer of high blood pressure, and a tool which is very important for me is my blood pressure monitor by Withings, which is connected to the cloud. So I'm able to track the trends in my blood pressure, and while not being in charge of taking notes of the different measurements. And all of this stuff, it's already available on the market. And if you think about bigger problems, such as people who just got a transplant of an organ, they need to take a huge quantity of different pills for medication, different medicines. And there's a technology who has been commercialized, so it's FDA approved, it's on the market. Commercialized and invented by a company called Proteus. They are a startup based in California, and they invented this ingestible chip that can be mounted on a pill, on a medication, in order to be able to track it. And then you can create ecosystems around this pill, technological ecosystems to enable the patient and the caregivers and the physicians to take track of the adherence of the patients to the prescriptions.
And who would be in charge, for example, if this system doesn't work in my stomach, for example? What's the legal possibilities to, I don't know, to sue the...
Obviously there's a huge chain of responsibility. All these systems, being medical devices, have to be, first of all, pass clinical trial, so they need to prove on the field their usefulness and their efficiency and effectiveness. And second thing, they're going to be approved by FDA in the US or CE in the EU. Mm-hmm. That means there's a very, very big and rigid corpus of rules they need to follow in order to be approved and put on the market.
And talking about wellness, for example, it would be easier to put new products in this sector of mobile application plus wearable devices.
Yeah, I think that the direction that most of the wellness and well-being companies are taking is transforming services they were used to provide their customers with to products the customer could buy and use, right? And an app is just a product. So if you look at the evolution of all the Nike Plus things, they started as a sensor, but now they have a very important offer as app running on your phone. Mm-hmm. And they were able to properly create a very good entry level of technology. So as a smartphone owner, you're probably very prone in downloading and using their app. Mm-hmm. And from there you can move to more complex systems they sell.
But talking about the money, software as a service, for example, this model as the Adobe previously switched to, for example, is it possible way to pharmaceutical companies to use this model of monetization, for example, in real life?
I sincerely think that's going to be the future for pharma companies and medtech companies, right? Because it's very complex to get business out of meds because it's a very, very big investment to invent new medicines, right? And the direction that I would say all the pharmaceutical companies are taking is to creating environment of services where the pill is just one of the components. It's not the component, right? And I think it's a very good, it's preparing for a very good future for us, because we will become, as patients and human being, much more acknowledged of our body and the reaction of our body to medications.
But people are lazy mostly, and that's the problem when you give ideal pill and perfect medicine. Even me, which highly concentrated on my health, will find a way to destroy my body in some funny way, for example. Your idea of what we need to do in this crazy world which tries to destroy yourself?
Well, I think that first of all, we want to be left free, right? If you think about heavy smokers, every time they pick up a cigarette from the cigarette box, they read that it causes cancer, and eventually they will die because of this action. But they don't care. I mean, they like seeing themselves with a cigarette in their hand. They like inhaling smoke and choke. So you won't be able to create a system that's so powerful to force them changing their habits. But you can start changing their behaviors, right? You can start making them more aware of the effects that the smoke is causing to them. For example, today at the conference, a very interesting product was showcased on the stage. So this technology that is able to provide you with a precise indication of the age of your blood system, right? And if you're a heavy smoker, the age is going to ramp up, right? But that's a very, very personal and good way to highlight a problem. Because if I just tell you, you will die of this, you will say, yeah, tomorrow I will think.
Yeah.
But if I show you real data that are not just statistics, but it's your data, then I can be much, much more effective in convincing you.
And social status, for example, connection to the social networks and our likeness. We always want to be on the good mood from the other members of our society, for example. And is it possible to make my bad behavior on the long term, for example?
You know, I think that us, as the human race, are very positive beings, right? We are really willing to help each other. So if you have the courage of asking for help, you will always find people willing to help you and willing to help yourself in improving, in become a better individual. And I have this couple of friends, they just launched a new application. It's called In the Flow, and its aim is to help people becoming happier. So you use your social network and you tell them, hey guys, I'm happy if I'm healthy, and I'm healthy if I don't drink too much beer. So when you are tempted in drinking too much beer, they can have an intervention from a distance, and if you say, hey guys, I'm tempted, I don't want to drink this, they can help you in encouraging you not to have another beer.
Last question, could you describe your ideal client in Frog? Or ideal project, for example?
So I like working in Frog because I'm not Superman, but when I work with my clients, I feel like I'm one, right? Because you see the trust they give you. So it's not just giving you money, but it's giving you trust and being willing to be guided by you. And that's the kind of client I like most, because it's not that we teach them how to innovate, but we innovate together with them.
Я надеюсь, что у каждого из нас появится в жизни такой же идеальный клиент, как у Матео, который будет доверять нам и давать нам возможности творить и создавать новые инновационные продукты. А мы с вами увидимся в новых выпусках, и до встречи.
So thank you everybody and goodbye.